That stands out the most to probably all you guys and everyone in this arena, when he was about 7 seconds on the clock, he just kept going backwards. I don't know why, but just threw it up, and I don't think he had any chance of going in, but that was kind of like a dagger shot. It just gave us all the momentum back. I think we went up 14 points, so that was my favorite. I hit nothing but net, and that was just a very good sight to see.
Steph, why do you attempt shots where you're going backwards and nobody seems to understand what the heck it is you're doing out there? And how deflating is it to the opponent when those go through the hoop?
I mean, that situation, I was trying to get some space. I thought I had a layup at first, and I fumbled the ball, and then tried to see where the defense was, and Kevin Love was right on me, and I actually lost a dribble for a hot second. And the only way to get a shot was to keep going back. And I mean, I try all sorts of shots at some point or another, but at that point, it's just feel and let it go, and thankfully it went in. And, a big moment where we had a significant lead, we could extend it a little bit and create some separation down the stretch, and it was a cool moment, for sure.
Mark on the right side.
Clay, Mark, Medina Bay Area News Group. First, how's your ankle holding up overall? What do you think was key in being able to play through that and have a kind of game that?
Being on the training table for felt like 3 straight days. Something I'm not used to, but at this point in the season, any means necessary. And the ankle feels great. I don't want to do much tomorrow. I'll do a little bit Tuesday, but to conserve all I got for Wednesday, because I don't want to play with it. You know, it's something that you use a lot. I don't realize how much you use your ankle till you hurt it, but I'm gonna.
Should have asked me.
Yeah. That's that.
Anyway.
Hi, Rick Tittle with 95.7 The Game. It seemed right from the tip-off you guys were completely focused. Everybody was on the same page. It was like serious business, like you weren't going to leave anything left from the other game.
I mean, we watched the film, and obviously from game 1, LeBron had an amazing night, but a lot of it was just a lack of kind of sense of urgency early in possessions to try to just be physical. Clay, Draymond, and KD especially were huge, you know, in that transformation to game 2 with just putting up a little bit of resistance and just trying to make them work. And we still had some slip-ups and things we can correct going into game 3, but energy and effort and physicality and all that from the jump was pretty, you know, dialed in, and it gave us a lot of momentum and confidence to, you know, have a better start to the game and then sustain that over 48 minutes for sure.
Anthony, third row this end.
Anthony Slater with the Athletics. Steph, you've always had that kind of pass and scatter to the corner 3 in your repertoire, but suddenly, really since the middle of the Houston series, you've been doing it a ton. What sparked that, and why is it working so well?
We've been doing that for a long time. It's just everything's under a microscope in the playoffs, and especially how teams guard us. You know, with a lot of switching and things like that, you got to find different ways to create space. You can't. ISOs are great, and we have guys that are capable of doing that all across the board. But when we keep the ball moving and keep bodies moving, good things usually happen. So I think that's when we're dialed in offensively, we're really you know, efficient with getting into the paint, kicking it out, finding an open guy, whether it's me, you know, relocating to the corner, or Clay coming off a pin down, or Draymond getting an open 3. You know, we've been pretty locked into that type of offense for sure.
Rachel, the fourth row.
Clay, you said yesterday that you've never taken a painkiller shot. Is that still true today?
Yes.
Steph, can you talk about Clay's resiliency physically?
I mean, it's the finals. I know he's gonna give it every shot to get his body right. Little known fact, I think what's today, Sunday? So Friday, he was getting treatment and still tried to manage a walk out to the court and take a couple shots just to keep his rhythm. But he didn't do much movement. It shows you kind of how much he loves the game and wants to be out there for us as a team and for himself and enjoy this moment. So it's great to have him out there, and I know these next 48 hours are big for him to keep getting recovery and treatment and all that to be ready for game 3.
All right. For both you gentlemen, Ryan Leong from Associated Press Broadcasting. You guys have always talked about being locked in and knowing where you are now in the finals, up 2-0. Just how focused are you guys knowing going into Game 3 that could be the turning point for the series?
We're extremely focused. This team has been down 2-0 the last series and came back to win it. So it's nothing to feel happy about being up 2-0. This team plays great at home, and we expect their other guys to even play better at home too, not just LeBron. So we're not going to relax at all because this team's been down and out before and counted out by the media. And we're not going to focus on that. We're just going to focus on what we can do to win Game 3.
Around here, we know what Draymond does in
Draymond.
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 I dropped the D. Or expander. Anyway, whoa. What did we see? He went out and covered LeBron. What don't we see that Draymond does so effectively on defense?
You see it all. He's everywhere. He's a defensive player of the year for a reason. He loves those challenges, loves being in the fight every possession. And he just finds ways to, not only if it's a one-on-one matchup, get a stop, but plug holes in the defense all over the court. So I don't know what much left he has in the tank on that end that anybody hasn't seen. He just continually does it over and over and over again at a high level, making strong defensive plays to help us get stops and be the defensive team that we've been all this last 3-4 years and in this playoff run. That's why the numbers look so good and why we do what we do.
Michael? Michael Lee, Yahoo Sports. Steph, at the end of the third quarter, looked like you tripped after you missed the three, and you stood up and got in Kendrick Perkins' face. I just want to know what would lead a 6'3" guy to get in somebody's 6'10's face and start talking smack, and did that do anything to get you fired up for the final quarter?
Much ado about nothing. Great move.
Last two questions over here on the right side of the second one.
Janie McCauley from the Associated Press. LeBron hit a three with that first minute of the fourth of I think 11:04, and you went down and answered right away, and then hit another three immediately after that. How big was that sequence for you guys, the momentum?
It was big. They were up 10 at the end of the fourth, and he hit a big shot off an offensive rebound. Any other type of those moments when you can come down and answer and keep the momentum on our side, it's big. Keep the crowd into it. This guy next to me hit a couple of those in Game 1 and tonight as well. So we have to find ways to combat their many runs. We especially have to do that on the road. We know how loud it is in that building, so just keep our composure no matter what the score is and find ways to assert ourselves offensively.
Last question on the right side.
Yama Hazir, Crown 4 News. Steph, you went through a lot of individual adversity this year, this strain MCL, missing the first round of the playoffs. How much does a game like tonight mean to you, NBA Finals history, 9 3-pointers?
I mean, regardless of how the season went, that's a pretty cool deal to accomplish, knowing who's held the record for probably 6-8 years. But at the end of the day, it's all about trying to get a win and doing whatever you can to make that happen. I always say, like, if we focus on that, good things happen individually, all across the board. So I never woke up and was like, all right, let's go get 9 threes and get the record. It's more so just about playing the game the right way, having good intentions out there on the court, and good things happen. So pretty special night, and hopefully some more special things happen and get 2 more wins.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Looks like Kevin Love will be in next.